Did you know one of the most important fighters in the Pacific War wasn't fast, sleek, or even particularly modern? Nope. It was the F4F Wildcat, a short, chunky little bulldog of an airplane that kept the U.S. Navy alive during the darkest days of World War II. When war broke out, American pilots quickly learned the hard way that the Japanese A6M0 could run circles around almost anything in the air. It climbed faster, turned tighter, dove quicker. It was basically flying origami with machine guns. Meanwhile, the Wildcat looked like a metal lunchbox with wings. But here's the thing. The Wildcat didn't care about the odds. It was slow, but it was tough. Armor-plated, fuel tanks sealed against fire, and built like a farm tractor that somehow got drafted into the Navy. Pilots joked that you could empty half your guns into a Wildcat, and it would still land politely on your carrier deck and ask for more gas. And the pilots flying them? They adapted. That's where the famous Thatch weave came from. A deadly tag-team maneuver invented by Lewin CMDR, John Jimmy Thatch. Two Wildcats would cross paths in midair. If a Zero tried to get behind one, it flew straight into the guns of the other. Suddenly the hunter became the hunted. The Wildcat proved itself early at Wake Island, where a handful of Marine pilots fought like cornered wolves. Then it slugged it out over the Coral Sea, buying the U.S. Navy something priceless: time. And when the war reached its turning point at the Battle of Midway, it was the Wildcat that escorted the dive bombers that sank 4 Japanese carriers in a single morning. At Guadalcanal, Wildcats became legends. Operating from Henderson Field, Cactus to the men, they fought day after day under brutal conditions, holding the line against overwhelming numbers. Pilots slept under their planes, fought malaria, ate cold rations, and still launched every morning like nothing could break them. Even when newer fighters like the Hellcat and Corsair arrived, the Wildcat didn't retire. It simply moved to escort carriers, the tiny jeep carriers that couldn't handle heavier planes. There, the Wildcat protected convoys, hunted submarines, and proved, and again, that you don't need to be pretty to be dangerous. The F4F Wildcat wasn't the fastest bird in the sky, but it was the one that refused to fall. It bought the Navy time, held the line, and fought with every ounce of stubborn American grit a machine can have. If you enjoyed this trip down the rabbit hole, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Smart History for Dumb Times. And if you feel like fueling more historical deep dives, the link to buy me a coffee is in my bio.